Hello everyone. So in the last lectures we have covered with alkenes, reaction of both alkanes and alkenes. So today we are going to do with alcohols. Okay, this is a new functional group in the organic chemistry, and this does not come under hydrocarbon because hydrocarbons are the compounds basically which are made up of hydrogen and carbon. Okay, hydrocarbon are compounds made of hydrogen and carbon. And in alcohol, we have oxygen present. So, functional group of alcohol is OH, the hydroxy group. Okay, name ending of alcohols is OL. Last two letters of alcohol, that is OL. Okay, now in the alkenes section, that in reactions of alkenes, we have actually learned that how alcohols can be made, and the reaction of that is hydration reaction. Okay, catalytic addition of steam, or also known as hydration of alkenes, where water you can say steam is added with alkenes to make alcohols. Okay, we have one more way of making alcohols, that is fermentation. So let us first see the structure, then we will learn the reactions. So have to draw structures of alcohol. For drawing structure of alcohol, as I told you earlier also, if you know the structures of alkane, it will become really easy for you to draw the structures of alcohol, alkenes, carboxylic acids, etc. Okay, so the general formula for alcohol is CnH2n plus 1 OH. So N is equal to 1, 2, 3, okay, or more than that. But in your exam, they ask you till 5 carbon atoms. So 5 is majority, you should know how to draw. So I'll put N is equal to 2, okay. So C2H2 into 2 plus 1 OH. So it becomes C2H2, 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 OH. This is my molecular formula. This is my molecular formula. Now I'm supposed to draw the structure. So first I will draw a displayed structure. So you can see that I have two carbon atoms. So first let us draw two carbon atoms. Okay. Then I will have to satisfy the valency of carbon. So I have one bond. I require three more for this. And here also I require three more. Now if you see, I have five hydrogen atoms here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And I have OH. So I'm supposed to draw O, a bond, and then H. This is how my displayed formula looks like. Now, how am I supposed to name this compound? So I will write eth because I have two carbon atoms, okay, because there is a single bond. So we will have alkane ka an, so it is ethane. And as I told you, the name ending is all. So we will write all here. So the name becomes ethanol. How to write the structural formula? Okay, so as I told you, we will do step by step. So we have this carbon first. We have one carbon and three hydrogens, a bond. Then we have CH2, a bond, and then we have OH. So CH3, CH2, OH is the structural formula. Structural formula for ethanol. Okay, let us draw one more structure. So this time n is equal to 4 we will be taking. Okay, so it is C4H2 into 4 plus 1 OH. So it becomes C4H2, 4 is 8 plus 1, 9 OH. Okay, so let us draw a displayed formula first. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon atoms. Okay, and because all of them are single, so for the first one and the last one, I have three bonds. The middle two carbon atoms are already having one and two bonds. Okay, so I will just draw. Now I have nine hydrogens, so I'm supposed to draw all the hydrogens: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I have OH group, so O bond H. So this is how I have my structure displayed formula for 4 carbon atom alcohol. Now because it is 4 carbon atom, so the prefix remains the same, but. Okay, then I'll write AN for alkene because we have a straight chain, we have a carbon carbon single bond. Okay, and hence we are using alkane, AN of alkane, and OL of alcohol, so it becomes butanol. Okay, now here you have to understand that I have 4 carbon atoms and I can shift my OH group from first carbon to any other carbon atom. Okay, I had my OH group. If I number this, OH is attached to this carbon, so I'll number it as 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. So if I number it and if I write the name, so it should become butan. Position of OH group is at first carbon and all. This is the name, that is what I should use. Okay, now I have another possibility also here, which is I can shift the OH group to second carbon atom. Okay, so I'll just write it on the second carbon atom: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Everywhere I will just put bond. Now I'll put my OH bond on the second carbon atom and hydrogens everywhere. So now when I number this, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I number it from left to right, it is 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see that when I number it from right to left, it gets second number. And when I number it from left to right, it gets third number. Okay, we have to always consider lowest possible number. Okay, we have to consider lowest possible number. So in that case, I will go with this numbering between 2 and 3. I will consider 2. So the name here becomes butan 2 all. Okay. Again, butan 1 all and butan 2 all are also structural isomers of each other. They are structural isomers of each other. Butan 1 all and butan 2 all are structural isomers of each other. What were structural isomers? Compounds that have same molecular formula but different structural formula. Okay, so the structure is different. You can see in first butan 1 all the hydroxy group was on the first carbon atom. In butan 2 all the hydroxy group is on the second carbon atom. Okay, so there are only these two possibilities in butanol: butan 1 all and butan 2 all. Okay, so just by shifting the position of OH group from one carbon to another carbon, we can easily get the structural isomers of alcohol. This is possible from propanol, from 3 carbon atoms. So structural isomers of alcohols are possible from 3 carbon compounds. Okay, so we can have propan 1 all and propan 2 all. Okay, even these are structural isomers of each other. Now, how to write this in a structural formula? Okay, so let us write that. Now, I'll just draw the displayed formula here again. So, as I told you, we have to go one by one. Okay, so I have my first carbon atom, that is CH3, then I have a bond, then I have CH2, then a bond, then now here for this I have CH and I have OH attached to it. Okay, so I'll put a bond here and I would write OH, and then again I have this CH3. So this is my structural formula for butan 2-ol. Okay, so this is all about the molecular, displayed and structural formula of alcohol. Now we move ahead with the making of alcohols. We have also seen the structural isomers and the structures. Okay, so let's move ahead with the reactions or making of alcohol. Making of alcohol. Now, as I told you that when we have learned alkanes, okay, alkenes, in that we have already learned about reaction of alkenes, where alkene can be converted to alcohol. Okay, so alkene was reacted with steam, which was giving us alcohol, and the reaction conditions for that were 300 degrees Celsius, acid catalyst, and 60 to 70 atmospheric pressure. Okay, so this reaction was known as catalytic addition of steam. This reaction was known as catalytic addition of steam. Okay, we have another way of making alcohol, that is fermentation method. Fermentation method. So in this method, we are going to use glucose. So we will have source of sugar plus we have yeast, okay, and which is going to give us alcohol plus carbon dioxide. So now in this case, this reaction is going to happen at 25 degrees Celsius, okay, and enzymes which are present in yeast are going to catalyze the reaction. So I've written the word equation. So we have C6H12O6 in presence of enzymes, that is in presence of yeast. We are going to get 2C2H5OH plus CO2. CO2 is a gas here and alcohol we get is aqueous here. So this is the symbolic equation for the fermentation reaction. Okay, now there are some limitations to this reaction. So because we are using yeast, which is helping to catalyze the reaction, which is having enzymes in it, okay, after a certain point of time, when sugar runs out, when the sugar is completely converted to alcohol, or around 14% of alcohol is made, okay, in both the cases reaction stops. In both these cases the reaction is going to stop. It is very simple that definitely sugar is important for the reaction. So if the sugar is completely converted to alcohol, okay, because of which the reaction cannot move further. Also, if 14% of the alcohol is made, it is toxic for the yeast. Okay, 14% of alcohol is toxic for yeast, and so it will die, and hence the reaction stops, and hence the reaction is going to stop. Okay, so because enzymes are involved here, the reaction is happening at 25 degrees Celsius, 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, because enzymes work at optimum temperature and they get deactivated or denatured above around 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, because of which this reaction is happening at room temperature. So it can be any source of sugar. It can be maize or any other grains which contain sugar can be used in making of the alcohols. So this reaction is important. It is asked in exams. Now, here as we have learnt about two methods. Okay, first one is addition of steam. And the second method that we have learnt is fermentation. So, what are the advantages and disadvantages of both these methods? Okay, so first of all, we will be doing the advantages. Now, in addition of steam, we would say the reaction is fast, okay, because the reaction is also catalyzed by acid catalyst, okay, and certain high temperature is also maintained, which is 300 degrees Celsius. So, this is a fast reaction. Secondly, only we have alkenes and water, I mean steam, which is being used here. Okay, so when they are added together, because it is an addition reaction, so only one product is formed, that is alcohol, and hence we will get pure alcohol. So we will get pure alcohol as a product. In case of fermentation, because we use glucose and we use yeast, okay, so glucose is coming from maize, grains, corn, etc., which can be grown, the crops can be grown again, and we are using renewable source of energy, renewable source of energy. So we use a renewable source of energy, that is the advantage. Secondly, we can perform this simply because we can just add yeast and glucose together. We don't have to maintain so much reaction conditions here, okay. It happens at room temperature, and yeast is also having enzymes in it, so yeast is have so yeast is itself having enzymes in it, and hence it is a very simple method. It is a simple method. Now, next we have is disadvantages. Next we have is disadvantages. So for addition of steam, because we are going to use alkene, alkene is used, so it is non-renewable resource. It is a non-renewable resource. Okay. In case of fermentation, it is a slow process. It is a slow process. Also, it is a batch process. Once the yeast die, we have to change, okay, we have to stop the procedure and we have to again add glucose and yeast so that the reaction can start. So that is why it is a batch process. Whereas we could say that it's an advantage for the addition of steam, that it's a continuous process. It is a continuous process. It is not like yeast that where it when it dies we have to change everything, we have to add new yeast and all that. So it is just addition of steam and alkene, and the reaction will go on. For addition of steam, we can say, because we have to maintain the reaction conditions, we have to maintain around 60 to 70 atmospheric pressure here, 300 degrees Celsius temperature here. Okay, we would say that it is a complex method. It is a complex method. Also, in case of fermentation, the disadvantage here is, as we see that we are using glucose and yeast. Once the yeast die, okay, we have to separate alcohol and yeast from each other. Okay, so we would say that we will not get pure alcohol. Okay, we have to purify alcohol by fractional distillation. We will have to purify the alcohol because we have dyed yeast also. Okay, so we will have to perform fractional distillation so as to get the pure alcohol. So these are some advantages and disadvantages of both this methods, addition of steam and fermentation. Okay, in exam it comes for 2 marks, whether they might ask you advantages of one method over other, okay, or they might ask you to list one or two disadvantages of one method over other. So the advantages and disadvantages are very simple to understand, okay. Yeah, next we move ahead with the reactions of alcohol. Okay, next we move ahead with reactions of alcohol. So first reaction that we have is combustion reaction. Okay, you're correct. Combustion meaning when it reacts with oxygen. So it gives the same product how alkanes and alkenes used to give. Okay, so if we have alcohol, for example, ethanol, C2H5OH, when it is reacting with oxygen, it will give us carbon dioxide and water. So alkene and alcohol gives the same product when it is being reacted with oxygen. So combustion products of alkene and alcohol is same. Okay. So we will have to balance it. We have 2 carbon here. We will have to write 2. Then we have 5 plus 1, 6 hydrogens. To make 6 hydrogens here, we just have to write 3. So it's 3 twos is 6. So hydrogen is also balanced. And lastly, we will balance oxygen. So we have 2 twos 4 oxygen and 3. So we have 4 plus 3 is equal to 7 oxygens here. And we have 2 plus 1 oxygen in ethanol. That is total 3. Okay. So we have 3 oxygens here. Now what we can do is, if I make this as 6 oxygens, so 3 into 2 is 6. Okay. So 6 plus my 1 oxygen in alcohol will become 7. Okay. So this is my balanced reaction. C2H5OH plus 3O2 gives me 2CO2 plus 3H2O. So again, this reaction might come in exam. They can give you any alcohol and can ask you to write the complete symbolic equation of combustion, or they might directly ask you what can be the products of combustion. So these are the two, sorry, these are the two products of combustion. Then we have one more reaction of alcohol, that is making of carboxylic acids. So alcohols in presence of an oxidizing agent can be converted to carboxylic acids. Okay, so alcohol in presence of oxidizing agent can be converted to carboxylic acid. So for example, if I have ethanol in presence of oxidizing agent, for oxidizing agent we don't write the whole formula of oxidizing agent, only oxygen is required, so we just write it in bracket, and we will be getting ethanoic acid. Naming of carboxylic acids and structures definitely we will see in the another video for carboxylic acids. Okay, here just we will learn that from alcohols carboxylic acids are made. So we get ethanoic acid and water. Okay, so this is being done by reflux method. This is being done by the reflux method. So the oxidizing agent used here is So the oxidizing agent used here is potassium manganate. Okay, when it is being added, so it is purple in color, and once the alcohol gets converted to carboxylic acid, it turns colorless. Okay, so this is an indication that the alcohol is converted to carboxylic acid. So I will just explain what is reflux method. Okay, so in reflux we have a round bottom flask and we will heat it. Okay, and it is having a condenser attached to it. So this is round bottom flask. This is a condenser. This is water jacket. Water is going to enter here. So water in and water will come out from here, water out. Okay, so we have this kind of setup where we are supposed to add the alcohol which we want to convert into carboxylic acid. So we'll just take the same example, ethanol plus we will be adding KMNO4, which is our potassium manganate. Okay, now so in this case we are supposed to heat the mixture of ethanol and potassium manganate, that is the oxidizing agent. So after some time when the ethanol is being oxidized, okay, when it is being heated, the ethanol vapors will move above in the condenser, and here there is a continuous water flow that helps the vapors to cool down and gets condensate and drop down back into the round bottom flask itself. Okay, the drops will fall back in the round bottom flask, and slowly the ethanol will be oxidized to ethanoic acid, and the color of KMNO4, that is purple color of KMNO4, will get converted to colorless. So hence that is the indication that carboxylic acid is being formed here. Okay, so water in and water out is there are delivery tubes which are connected to tap. Okay, so from where the water is going to enter the water jacket, the condenser, and it is continuously helping to cool down the vapors which travel above in the condenser. Okay, so this is the reflux method. Now this might somewhat look similar to distillation method. Okay, but in distillation method we actually collect the vapors, we liquefy the or cool down the vapors and we collect it separately in a beaker, but here we do not do that. The product which is formed is present inside the round bottom flask only. Okay, it is being collected in the round bottom flask only. Okay, because of which there is no separate collector or beaker, anything which we are going to use. Okay, so this is the reflux method which we are going to use for making carboxylic acids from alcohol. So yes, these are the two reactions that we have of alcohols, that is combustion reaction and making carboxylic acid from alcohols. I hope you have understood. Thank you.